There comes a moment in every man's life when he looks in the mirror and wonders, am I attractive? Not just by looks, but in presence, energy, and essence. You see, attractiveness isn't about designer suits, six-pack abs, or flashy cars. It's about something deeper, something invisible yet powerful. Something that makes people stop and stare without knowing why. The truth? Highly attractive men carry an aura, a silent force that demands attention, respect, and desire. But most men never realize they have it. Why? Because society never teaches you what to look for. You grow up thinking attraction is about surface-level appearances, when in fact, it's a psychological game, a dance of energy and identity. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 powerful signs that you're not just attractive, you're magnetically irresistible. And if even one of these signs fits you, you're operating at a level most men never reach. So sit back, breathe deep, and stay with me till the very end. Because by the time this video is over, you'll see yourself with new eyes and understand exactly why people are drawn to you. Sign number 1, you command attention without saying a word. Ever walked into a room and felt all eyes shift toward one person? Not because they were loud, but because their presence was undeniable? That, my friend, is silent charisma, the first and perhaps the most powerful sign of a highly attractive man. This kind of man doesn't seek attention. He commands it, not through arrogance, but through a deep, grounded confidence. His posture is strong, his movements are deliberate, and his eye contact is steady. He doesn't fidget. He doesn't overcompensate. He owns the space he's in. Psychologists call this the alpha body language effect. When someone appears physically and mentally composed, others subconsciously read them as powerful and desirable. This is ancient, wired into our biology. Think about it. When a man walks calmly, chest up, eyes aware but not needy, it signals dominance and control. Not aggression, but security. Women are drawn to it. Men respect it. Everyone feels it. But here's the twist. It's not about being the biggest guy in the room. It's about how safe and steady you make others feel. That's what silent confidence does. It anchors energy. If people often glance at you when you're quiet, if strangers instinctively treat you with a mix of curiosity and caution, you might not know it yet, but you've got that rare magnetic presence. Cultivate it, protect it. Because the man who controls a room without noise controls much more than just attention. He controls perception. Sign number 2, you make people feel seen and understood. Here's a secret. People don't fall for looks. They fall for how you make them feel. And one of the deepest ways to become irresistibly attractive is to make others feel truly seen. Most men listen to reply, but a highly attractive man, he listens to understand. His attention is undivided. When he speaks, it's with intention. When he listens, it's with his whole being. He reads beyond words into body language, pauses, and unsaid emotions. And because of that, people feel safe with him. Women especially open up around him in ways they don't with anyone else. This is emotional intelligence, and it's rare. In a world addicted to distraction, a man who's present is a magnet. His ability to connect is what sets him apart. He doesn't pretend to understand people. He actually does. He asks thoughtful questions. He holds space without judgment. He makes people feel important, not as a tactic, but as a reflection of his character. And that creates emotional intimacy. Here's the truth. Women don't crave perfection. They crave presence. They're drawn to men who make them feel alive, noticed, and safe. And when you become that kind of man, you become unforgettable. So if people open up to you easily, if women confide in you and say, I don't know why I'm telling you this, it's not a coincidence. It's a sign. You're emotionally attractive, and that's a rare power. Sign number 3, you're unapologetically yourself, even if it's unpopular. There's something undeniably sexy about a man who knows exactly who he is and refuses to apologize for it. In a world full of masks and imitation, authenticity is rebellion. And women, they can feel it instantly. They can tell when a man is pretending, trying to impress, or copying someone else. But when you walk in as your raw, unfiltered, honest self, it sends a powerful message. I don't need your approval to feel worthy. That confidence or that bold self-acceptance is pure attraction. Psychology tells us that we're drawn to people who are congruent, whose actions, words, and energy align. Why? Because it signals inner peace and stability. And that stability is rare. Attractive men don't chase trends. They set their own standards. They don't shrink themselves to fit in. Whether it's how they dress, what they believe, or how they express themselves, they stay true to their core. That authenticity breeds respect. It turns heads not because it's flashy, but because it's real, and realness cuts through the noise. Let me be clear, being authentic doesn't mean being rude or inflexible. It means being deeply rooted in your identity. It means knowing your values, owning your flaws, and showing up with consistency. If you've ever walked away from a crowd because they didn't align with your soul, if you've ever spoken your truth knowing it might cost you approval, you're not just being bold, you're being dangerously attractive. Sign number 4, you radiate purpose and direction. Nothing is sexier than a man who knows where he's going. We live in a distracted world where most people float from one thing to another, lost in noise, pulled by opinions. But a man who wakes up with clarity, drive, and direction, he stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. Purpose is magnetic. When a man is focused, everything about him changes. His time becomes more valuable. His presence becomes more intense. He doesn't beg for attention. He's too busy building something that matters. And that focus creates gravity. People want to be around it. Women want to be near it. Not because he's perfect, but because he's in motion. This is deeply psychological. Purpose signals survival, strength, and certainty. Evolution taught women to be drawn to providers, men with vision and execution. But in the modern world, it's less about money and more about mission. A man with purpose speaks less and does more. He isn't shaken by rejection or distracted by drama. He's rooted. He's resilient. And that makes him rare. So if you're chasing something bigger than yourself, if you wake up every day with a fire in your chest, if you're not easily pulled off track, even by beauty, then understand this. Your purpose isn't just your path, it's your power, and it makes you deeply, profoundly attractive. Sign number 5, you know how to walk away. Here's the final, most underrated sign of true attractiveness. You know your worth, and you're willing to walk away. Most men become slaves to desire. They chase, they beg, they compromise. But the most attractive men, they don't chase, they choose. And if something doesn't serve them, they walk away, quietly, calmly, completely. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. It's the understanding that attachment without alignment is poison. Women feel this energy. They know when a man is needy and when a man is complete. And the moment they realize you don't need them, but want them from a place of fullness, that's when the obsession begins. High-value men aren't afraid to lose people. They'd rather be alone in truth than lost in illusion. They're not moved by temporary beauty, they're moved by meaning. And if that meaning fades, so does their presence. This is Stoic. This is powerful. If you've ever let go of something you deeply wanted because it didn't honor your standards, you are not weak. You are dangerous. You've mastered one of the rarest traits a man can have in this age, the ability to choose solitude over compromise. And that ability, it doesn't repel people. It pulls them in. Conclusion: you don't need to change who you are. You just need to recognize who you've always been. If even one of these 5 signs resonated with you, silent presence, emotional depth, bold authenticity, unshakable purpose, or fearless detachment, then you are already more attractive than you realize. You're not average. You're not invisible. You're magnetic. But here's the thing. True attraction starts from within. It's not something you seek. It's something you cultivate, day by day, choice by choice. So now I want you to own it. Don't wait for someone to validate your power. Don't ask the world if you're worthy. Decide that you are. If this video gave you clarity, courage, or confirmation, do me a favor. Drop a comment below. Which of these signs hit you the hardest? Subscribe for more content that sharpens your mind and strengthens your soul. And share this with a man who needs to hear this truth. Because attraction isn't an accident, it's an awakening. And today, you just woke up.